Hey landlords, Paul J. Roulard here from Ontario Landlord Help Group. Let's talk about property management and leasing. We offer this package all throughout Ontario. If you have any additional questions after watching this video, feel free to contact us. Send me a direct message from our Facebook group, or at the bottom of the website, you can click chat with paralegal or property manager now. You can click that any time of the day and we'll be right there for you to help you with any questions that you may have. You can also pick up the phone and give our office a call between office hours and we'll be able to help you. So let's talk about our packages. We have a DIY package. This is a do-it-yourself for landlords. So a lot of landlords are hands-on. We also teach landlords how to be hands-on. We highly suggest that every landlord is hands-on as much as possible for your investments, because the more you learn, the more you save money, and the less you're going to have to rely on any company, including a property management company, to do every single thing for you. There's many ways to save money in this business, so you don't have to rely on a property manager to do everything for you. And if you do, that's okay, but just make sure you really understand the cost of things, the maintenance, and you just want to make sure you're on top of all the information and always asking questions, because you don't ever want any company to take advantage of you. So let's jump right into it. So this DIY package is 1.5%. It includes 24/7, 365 days a year maintenance coordination. So if this is a service that you require, there is an additional charge for that. But we coordinate everything and we make sure that the work is done properly. Otherwise, no one gets paid. We handle the monies, distribution of the funds, we make sure the job is done properly. And that's just the biggest part of it, is making sure, because construction and renovation is one of the most difficult parts of this industry, and it's tough, but we deal with thousands of vendors. And so we make sure that they do a good job. And if they do a bad job for us, they're off our list and we don't use them anymore. So all of the billing is also very transparent. So there's nothing that you're ever going to catch any hidden fees or anything, because you receive the bill directly from that contractor or that business. So there's going to be nothing hidden there, nothing that you're going to see. It also includes rent collection. So it's an automated system the system, you're going to set your tenant up, you're going to collect the rent, and money is going to go directly into your bank account. It also includes online portals. So online portals is a neat feature. Your tenants and yourself both jump into the portal. You can communicate right there together. There's work orders in there, all kinds of neat stuff that's in there that's going to help you manage your property, including rent rolls, etc. Tenant turnover. For this particular package, there's an additional charge for that. Reach out to us so we can go over the numbers with you. But this means if you are renting your property yourself and you need a lease signed, etc., we take care of all of that. We can do the screening, everything that you need to get your tenant in there. So that way, both the tenant and yourself are both happy. Debt reporting every single month, that's included as well. So every single month when it's time to collect the rent, our system automatically notifies the tenant to pay the rent on time. It's going to be reported to Equifax and TransUnion, and once they pay, or if it's after the first and they have not paid, they get other notifications. And also every single month it goes out to the credit bureau, and the tenant knows that they have to pay rent on time if they want a good credit rating, because it's going to affect their credit rating. So this is a neat feature. It's included into this package. The next really cool feature about this is post your listing directly on realtor.ca. So if you want to do this, we highly recommend that. I'm just going to skip to a different page here, our leasing page. And it shows all of the information about the leasing and the DIY leasing. So that's what this package is right here. It's the DIY leasing package. And for this particular package, it's an extra $299. And you get a full realtor.ca listing, and all of the leads go directly to you. So you're going to handle all of the showings and the inquiries of the property. So as soon as you find a tenant that you like, send them over directly to us, and then we do the entire screening process for your tenant. So go ahead and check out the leasing page. It's broken down pretty good here, so you'll see everything there that you need. If you don't want to show the property yourself and handle the phone inquiries, that's okay. We do have a full service option. It's 1 month's rent commission, but take a look on our leasing page and everything's right there for you to understand. So let's jump right back into the property management. So let's move on now to the next part. So property sign and door sticker. So the property sign is neat because it's a custom sign to you. It has a QR code. You're going to have a listing on the website that's going to always be there. And so if you have a vacancy, it's going to show that there's availability. If it's fully rented, it's going to show that it's fully rented. And also there's going to be a form if you want a waiting list, then that's all included as well. So if it's rented and you want tenants to be able to fill the form in case it becomes available, it's all going to be directly right there on the website. So that's another really neat feature. It's a custom sign. There is additional cost to that. And also the door sticker. Door sticker is another great tool that we have. And what it is, it's almost like a bumper sticker. It goes on the door or one of the front windows, wherever a tenant can see. And it's branded with OLH Group, so Ontario Landlord Help, also with Landlord Pro Legal and with Landlord Easy. So what happens is we brand these 3 different organizations, and we make sure the tenant knows that if they don't pay rent or if they're causing problems or damages or anything that is going to require any type of legal attention, that it's branded to the tenant. So it's a constant reminder every time they go in and out of the door that there's these entities that are behind the system here. Let's jump over to the full service 3% package. So it includes everything in the DIY package. The posting to realtor.ca is a little bit cheaper. It's $259. So anytime that you have a vacancy and you want to do the leasing services, it's $259, and that includes all the full screening and everything. If you'd like more details on that, just go ahead and click on the leasing tab on our website, and you'll see all of the details of what it includes right there. So 247, 365 days, tenant care. So constant communication, all of it, tenant correspondence. So we're always there communicating. We have our app and our system's all set up. So the tenant's going to come through us first and we deal with it. If we never have to involve the landlord, we don't involve you. Unless you want to be involved for every single thing, then that's okay. We go ahead and do that. So it includes complete communication with the tenant. Direct deposits as well. So the full collection of rents and then direct deposit to your bank account. Move-in virtual inspection. So when a tenant moves in, we do a virtual inspection with the tenant, and it's completely screen recorded. Everything's right there. We ask very specific questions. We talk about the property, so that way it is used if it needs to get used. So that's another really neat virtual inspection. Sending notices, letters to tenants, whichever it may be, 24-hour notices, etc. Letters to the tenants if there's problems, or 24 hours for anything. Basically, it's all included. Your inspections of the property, because the property management is only 3%. We do charge for inspections. It's not much, but because the property management is at a base rate, if you need this service, there is an additional charge for that. Landlords, sometimes they don't need it. It's just up to you. You don't really need to walk through your properties every single month unless there's an issue or something that you want to see. You can walk through your properties every couple months, etc. If you're local, then we can go ahead and facilitate it. We can get the notices out there, no cost to anything, and you can go do your inspection. So that's how the inspections are handled. Also, it includes your N4s, your L1s, your N1s, and your N11s. So your N4 is non-payment of rent. That's automatically distributed if rent is not collected on the first. And then if the tenant does not pay within the 14 days, it includes the L1, the application, and then your N1 notice to increase the rents. That's included, and then also your N11. So if the tenant has to move for some reason, or if we agree to terminate the tenancy, then that's included. There's no extra cost to that. Landlord coaching and strategy session. So if you're within a situation, if it's just a basic situation, we work with Landlord Pro. They are partners of ours. They work directly in the same office as us. So if it's a situation you're dealing with, typically it's an easy, quick conversation. There's no charge for it. But if you require landlord coaching and a very specific strategy to a scenario that you're facing, and you want some extra guidance, there is an additional charge that's quoted at the time. It just depends on how much time we invest in helping you. Example, we have student rental staging and consulting. That's a similar idea where we have many clients who are converting their properties over to student rentals, and we know what to do, we know what to buy, we do it all the time, we know how to stage it, we know what kind of tenants we're looking for, so we know literally everything to do with a student rental staging system, and our team will send you links to everything you need to buy to set up your properties. So things of that nature. That's the landlord coaching strategy sessions, student rental staging and consulting. Same thing with Airbnb setup. So we have clients who have multiple units. Maybe they have a duplex or condo. It doesn't matter what it is, but we help you with the Airbnb setup. We know Airbnb. We know the system. We know how to set it up. We know how to set up a really great, amazing listing. We do all these things. So if you need that, we can definitely help you set up. And then tenant notification branding. This is where Ontario Landlord Help Group, along with Landlord Easy and Landlord Pro Legal, send out a letter to the tenant. It's on a regular basis, so it's a letter that's sent out, and all it is a very nice professional letter reminding them that the landlord is using these services, and this is why we're here, and we are protecting the landlord's rights. We're also here to help the tenant if they need any assistance or any help within the property. Of course, we only help landlords, but this is specifically just to work the relationship, to make everybody happy, the tenant's happy, the landlord happy, and the tenant always paying rent. So that branding happens on a regular basis with the tenant. Typically this works for us. We don't really have many evictions ourselves or non-payment of rents because we hit it right from the get-go, and it's a constant reminder to the tenants. So they don't want to mess around with us because we are right on top of them, and we have no tolerance. This is a business. It's not just a landlord-tenant relationship where a landlord sometimes a little bit more lenient and talking to the tenant and saying, yeah, it's okay, you can pay a rent a little bit later. No, this is a business. This is what we do for the landlord. We protect the landlord rights. So we don't, we're very nice, we're very courteous, we're very professional, but we have a policy in place, and we collect the rent, and that's our job. And we have to not only collect the rent, we have to make sure that this tenant is following the way that we like to manage properties, and that is super important as well. And I tell landlords this all the time through conversations is, we teach tenants on how we operate, and it's a constant learning curve for tenants because they have dealt with many landlords in the past, and many landlords might not know much about the system, about LTB matters, and about how to manage properties properly. So they've dealt with all kinds of landlords, and some landlords are just relaxed, they don't care, and okay, yeah, pay rent later, and things of that nature. What we do is we train the tenant. We train the tenant on how to be a great tenant, so that way they increase their credit scores, and eventually they're going to buy a property because, let's face it, many of us landlords, it's a stepping stone business. Many of us were tenants before, and we've just kind of we built our business and built ourselves as individuals, and eventually bought properties and became landlords. It's a stepping stone, and we believe that, and we believe that every tenant has a chance and opportunity to use the stepping stone to build their businesses, their future business. But yeah, so that's all part of it as well. So we're not just managing properties, we are also managing people, right? So the next package is a really neat package. It is called Legal Edge. This is a new invention that we haven't really seen anywhere else, doing similar ways the way that we're doing it. So 8.5%. It includes everything in the DIY and the full service. And your realtor.ca listings are completely free, so you never have to pay to post your listing on realtor.ca. So again, you can go to the leasing tab on the website, and it's free, and it includes everything here. So go ahead and take a look at that. But yeah, so all your realtor.ca listings are free. So if you have student rentals, things of that nature, it's honestly, it's probably pretty awesome to have this package because there's no cost to it. And student rentals, there's a higher turnover, things of that nature. So that's a really great package for landlords. Yeah, so it also includes fire inspection checklists. So we want to make sure that every landlord is protected from liability or any type of issue that they can get sued for, etc. Fire inspections are so very important for landlords, and you have to make sure that you do this on a regular basis. We set it up every 6 months. We want to make sure that we have the documentation, the paperwork, and everything right there for you. So what we do is we provide you with a full checklist and a full how-to. It's very basic. You can go there to the property yourself, fill in the checklist, every single line that we have in there. So if you're buying batteries, if you're buying smoke detectors or anything else in your property, you want to make sure that that is part of the entire package. So we basically coach you on how to handle that. And if it's something that you don't want to do it and you want a professional to do it, that's okay too. We set that up. There's additional charge for that. So it's whatever it's quoted. So, when it comes down to that, and if you need the service, reach out to one of our property managers and we'll talk to you more details about that. But fire inspection is so very important. So we have to make sure that every landlord is protected, and your liability is so very important. And the legal coverage. So the legal coverage is huge. So this is a partnership with Landlord Pro Legal. So they are a paralegal firm that helps landlords all throughout Ontario. They have an office within our office, so we're really closely connected to them. So it's full coverage for all legal issues. So no matter what the issue is on LTB matters, it's all fully included. So all your eviction forms, all your applications, all your hearings, if there's adjournments, it includes that. There's no extra cost for legal services. The only extra cost is the disbursements. And disbursements is, any hard costs. Sending out mail or, sending out, expedited, mail that goes to the tenant. That's an additional charge. That's a disbursement. Filing fees. So when you're filing your L1 or L2, etc. So those filing fees, that's a disbursement. But for legal services, there's no charge for any of that. And the other best part of this package is that if you have a problem today where your tenant's not paying you rent, or did damages and you're going through an eviction process today, all you have to do is join this package, and quite literally the paralegal team is going to pick up where you left off. They're going to review what you have done so far, make sure it's correct, make sure there's no errors, go through all the documents and review it all for free because it's included. And then if it has to be redone because there's an error, they go ahead and redo it. There's no extra cost to that. The applications, there's no extra cost. And they go to the hearing for you. So if you're a landlord that has a hearing scheduled for next week, you can join this package right away and you are not paying for this hearing, which is quite amazing. So that's pretty much it. That's the breakdown for all of our property management packages. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, send us a message, go to our Facebook group. We have just over 27,000 members at the time of this video. You can find me, send me a direct message anytime. Many landlords, I get hundreds of messages every single week from landlords. I get help from my team because I can't just message everybody 24 hours a day. But you're going to get answered almost in real time. Same thing with the bottom of the website. Click our chat button, chat with one of us. We're there to help you. Thanks, landlords. And join our services. We have some really neat stuff that's coming down the barrel. You'll see other videos and updates on our website. So thanks again, landlords, and happy landlording.